Welcome to the Soul Health Mentor podcast with Nadia Kraus. Learn how to move your awareness out of your mind and into your heart so you can embody your divinity, experience joyous peace of mind, and create your most vibrant life by opening to receive your soul's sacred medicine.
Hello, beautiful soul. Hello, strong heart. Hey, brilliant listener. Welcome back to a special International Women's Day edition of the Soul Health Mentor podcast, where we are trailblazing self-love leadership with the Explorer Sage Heroine Archetype. Yay! So before we begin, I wanted to share a post with you, something that I wrote for social media, and it's coming from the heart. So this is what I wrote. Dear empowered soul, on this remarkable occasion of International Women's Day, I stand in awe and gratitude for the incredible journey we've shared. As the host of the Soul Health Mentor podcast and the guide of the Empowered Goddess Temple, I feel privileged to be part of a community that celebrates the strength, resilience, and wisdom of women globally. In the spirit of sisterhood, empowerment, and unity, these platforms have evolved into spaces where women explore their inner power, connect with their souls, and uplift each other on their journey of self-discovery. Your energy, your insights, and your support have contributed immensely to these empowering initiatives. Here's to the radiant force of women and the collective magic we create together. Happy International Women's Day with love and admiration for you, Nadia. I am so deeply grateful that you are here today, and we are going to explore the Sage Heroine Archetype and how this archetype can help you trailblaze your self-love leadership and the embodiment of your soul health and purpose. So let's talk about the key characteristics of the explorer first. So an explorer loves to explore, not just the external world, but also the internal world. In the external, an explorer is someone that loves to travel, that loves to discover new places, and likes to be on the move, is not somebody that only wants to stay put. It is someone that loves wandering and exploring and discovering new beautiful places and cultures and foods and things to do and people, all those things. The internal explorer is someone that explores the world of emotion and mindset and purpose. And both of them, internal and external, have one thing in common. They boldly go where they've never gone before. And it's exciting. It's filled with curiosity and adventure. And I definitely identify with this archetype. I love going to places, to new places. I've lived in 4 countries in my lifetime, born and raised in Germany. Then I've also lived in South Africa, in Cape Town, because my mom was South African. I've lived in the United States, and right now I'm living in Canada. So my explorer is being saturated, that's the word, being saturated with this energy of curiosity and adventure and discovering new things. I absolutely love it, and I can relate to going boldly where I've never gone before, because having lived in 4 different countries, of course, every country is very, very different. The cultures are different, the people are different, the food is different, the lifestyle is different. And I've learned so much. I've learned a lot through the challenge of contrast and really having to look at this external world I was facing and what it has to do with my internal world of my value system. So I've learned a lot via contrast, and that wasn't always easy. But I've also discovered so many things that I would have never discovered otherwise. So that's the Explorer archetype. Now, what has the Sage got to do with it? I already touched base on it in the sense that I told you that learning through contrast wasn't easy. And I really had to look at myself, my internal world, and what's important to me. What, why, and how. What is important to me in life? Why do I value this and don't value that? And how can I embody my soul health and my purpose? And that's where the Sage came in. The Sage came in, and it was this out of my mind and into my heart wisdom that the Sage shared with me. And that also inspired the tagline of this podcast. The tagline of this podcast is out of your mind and into your heart, because your conditioned rational mind, your monkey mind, can often tell you things that have nothing to do with your heart's wisdom, with your purpose and your soul health. So that's how the Sage is infused on this journey of self-love leadership. The heroine definitely activates the courage in us. The heroine activates the strength to leave our comfort zones. In our comfort zones, there's no room for expansion or growth. There's nothing wrong with a comfort zone. It's just that if we stay in our comfort zone, we become stagnant, and the curiosity and the adventure that the explorer has kind of dissipates. And the wisdom that is gained from growing and expanding doesn't happen in a comfort zone. A comfort zone is all about maintenance, just staying where you are. And while there are many people that are happy with that, and there's no reason to judge that, the Explorer Sage doesn't appreciate that. That is the archetype that appreciates continuous growth and transformation and rebirth and adventure and curiosity and soul wisdom. It's what adds the spice of life. So here we have all three archetypes gathered in a circle with us. So let's talk about how self-love leadership qualities can be translated through embodying the explorer, embodying the sage, embodying the heroine. So my favorite quote that really honors the heroine is by Nora Ephron. Above all, choose to be the heroine of your life, not the victim. And if you've listened to my very first podcast episode called Welcome to Soul Health Mentor, I actually talk about something that is called victim mentality. I talk about the drama triangle that society and people like to get entangled in. So the drama triangle has 3 roles, and we all take one role at one point or another in our lifetime. And the roles are victim, hero or heroine, and perpetrator. And as long as we are entangled in this drama triangle, we are actually not in our creation power. And now you might have noticed that the hero and the heroine are part of this triangle. So how can that be an empowering archetype? It's really important that in the drama triangle, the hero or the heroine is entangled in perfectly fixing and in identifying with, yes, I'm saving these people. Yes, I'm helping these people. It's actually the shadow of the heroine and the hero. So I'm not talking about the shadow when I talk about the hero archetype saying, above all, choose to be the heroine of your life, not the victim. I'm talking about the exalted version of the hero and the heroine walking, trailblazing her path in self-love leadership unapologetically. So it's not this drama triangle of codependency and enmeshment where you're trying to people please and perfectly fix because it's part of your identity, it makes you feel valuable, but it's rather knowing that you are valuable just because you are. You're connected to the sage within you, the sage that says you are valuable, you have a place in this world, and you are able to follow your heart and create the life you require, desire, and deserve. So those are the self-love leadership qualities I'm talking about. And in those self-love leadership qualities of really choosing to be the heroine, exploring with lots of heart wisdom, in that journey of embodying self-love leadership qualities, you're going to automatically embrace curiosity, adventure, and the wisdom that comes through your heart and soul that contributes to effectively leading yourself anchored and drenched in love for yourself. And that doesn't mean you're perfect. Absolutely not. Here at Soul Health Mentor, I hold myself to a standard of grace, not perfection. I'm a human being. I'm not perfect. Everybody has their faults, and it's okay. It's about doing the best we can do at any given moment. So it's really important to realize that self-love leadership has the full range of you. It really holds the glorious and wonderful, but also the ugly and challenging, the hard. And it's okay. It is absolutely okay. There is room for all of you. There's room for the full range of your internal world, the full range of your emotions, from icy cold to red hot angry. Everything has a place here. And I want to share 7 powerful reflective questions with you that will help you open the 7 gateways to your self-love leadership and can also serve to gaining practical tips and insights via your heart, via your intuition. So let's begin. The first question that I want to ask you is, what is your relationship with self-care? Take a moment to breathe. Anchor into your body. Place your hand on your heart and ask yourself, what is my relationship with self-care? And if you want to journal, you can. You don't have to, but if you want to journal, you can. You can pause this podcast, journal your answer. If you're taking a nature walk right now or you're exercising while listening to this podcast, just take mental note. What is your relationship with self-care? And see what reveals itself. The next question, what is your relationship with self-love? What do you think self-love is? What does self-love entail for you? Take a deep breath and allow yourself to discover your answer. Next question. What is your relationship with consistency in both? Consistency in self-care, consistency in self-love? And what does consistency look like to you? Take a deep breath. And allow yourself to explore the answer. Next question. What is your relationship with nourishment? What does nourishment mean to you? What does nourishment for body and soul look like to you? What is your relationship with your heart? With your hand on your heart, what does your heart feel like right now? What is your relationship with your heart? Do you follow your heart? Do you allow yourself to listen to your heart? Or maybe you're discovering that your heart feels constricted, shielded, wounded, and that it's a scary thing to open your heart and to listen to your heart. And that's okay. It's just a clue. Everything is welcome here. Next, ask yourself, what is your relationship with your soul? Society at large doesn't talk about the soul very much. There is a movement, of course, a personal growth and development movement, the spiritual awakening and awareness movement. Of course, in that conversation, soul is talked about. But just think about your everyday life. People might say, "Oh, that's so good for my soul." But what does that really mean? What does that mean? What does soul mean to you? Is your soul your essence? Is your soul the spirit that lives within you? Is your soul your higher self? Or is your soul your light body? Those are all things to explore when I ask you, what is your relationship with your soul? And lastly, my favorite question. What is your relationship with creation through embodiment? Here at Soul Health Mentor Podcast, we talk about the embodiment of your soul health and your purpose. And the embodiment of your soul health and purpose is unique to you. It is your truth. It is what you require, desire, and deserve. It is based on your value system, your standards, and your needs. And nobody can define the success and the level of embodiment of soul health and purpose but you. So ask yourself, what is your relationship with creation through embodiment? What does that mean to you? What do you like creating? Do you like creating delicious meals? Do you like creating sacred space for yourself and others? Do you like creating art? Do you like creating your life, designing it as you please? What is your relationship with creation through embodiment? And here at Soul Health Mentor Podcast, I love sharing stories that inspire self-love leadership. I love interviewing guests that live self-love leadership. And I wanted to tell you about some podcast episodes that have already been created, recorded, published. In podcast episode number 57, I share my unapologetic message for all the goddess warriors out there. So if you want to check that out, you can do that in several places. You can do that on your favorite podcast platform just by scrolling down the episodes and finding number 57. You can do the same thing on the Podbean app. You can visit soulhealthmentor.com, that's my podcast webpage, and scroll for the episode as well. And if you want a direct link, then you go to happywholesomelife.com/blog, and you will see the latest episode show notes blog, which is this one. This is episode number 94, Trailblazing Self-Love Leadership, Unleashing the Explorer Sage Within. And you'll see in my show notes blog, I have hyperlinked the episodes that I'm sharing with you right now. I really loved interviewing Christina Courtwright Jenkins. That's episode number 61. It's called Reveal Your Essence with Christina. And in episode number 65, I actually share my story with the listener as I interview Lucinda Ray about the power of the archetypes, because it was Lucinda Ray that introduced me to the medicine and the transformational power that the archetypes hold for us should we choose to embody them. And that was back in 2014. And I interviewed her years later in 2022, I think it was. It might have been 23. I'm not certain anymore. So that's number 65, The Power of Archetypes with Lucinda Ray. And that was also my kickoff. So it was 22. Yes, now I remember. Because it was my kickoff into the second season, where I interviewed Lucinda Ray, I interviewed 2 other guests, and I also created 2 solo episodes for that kickoff. And those are the next ones I want to share with you, because all of these episodes really underline what it means to embody self-love leadership so we can live soul health and purpose. Number 67, Becoming Your True Nature, Joy, a solo episode by me. And number 68, The Secret of Life, What Is It? And that was kicking off season number 2, year number 2 of the Soul Health Mentor podcast. Now we are in our 3rd season. Can you believe it? Wow. The 3rd season of Soul Health Mentor podcast. I am so grateful that you are here, and I invite you to engage with the Soul Health Mentor community and me over on the Podbean app. So if you download the Podbean app to your phone, to your device, to be able to listen to episodes easily on the go, you have this beautiful comment feature there where you can start engaging with me and the listeners of this podcast, the community of this Soul Health Mentor podcast. It is so important to me that we support each other, that we are each other's cheerleaders, because I live by the saying, surround yourself with cheerleaders, not the fear leaders. And I really love the engagement, the inspiration, the upliftment, the empowerment, and the healing that we can find in a community of like-minded hearts and souls. Stay tuned for the next episode in Soul Health Mentor. So I love to talk about a topic. Today we talked about the Explorer Sage Heroine Archetype that helps you unleash your power so you can trailblaze your self-love leadership path. And then I like to follow up the topic I'm talking about with a guided process, with a guided meditation and visualization that supports you in really feeling the topic in your body. It becomes more of a transmission. A transmission is the combination of knowledge, wisdom, but also intuition in your body. It gives you the space to feel what feels right to you. It is a somatic experience. It encompasses all of you. Your body, your mind, your emotions, your heart, your spirit, and your soul. So look out for the guided process, which I'm calling Unlocking the 7 Gateways, a guided journey to self-love leadership. Thank you so much for being here. Until next time.
Thank you for listening to the Soul Health Mentor podcast with Nadia Kraus. If you like what you heard, please subscribe, rate, and review at Apple Podcasts or wherever podcasts are playing.